Hey y'all, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. Thanks for joining me on our YouTube channel, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry, and welcome back to the Meat Bird Production Barn. We really appreciate your time and effort supporting our channel. We're going to look at our flock of Cornish cross meat chickens today. There's 123 total, and we have them kind of separated, the main group of 119 and 4 that we've taken out of the group for a couple of reasons, and we'll explain that. Going to talk about a couple of terms involved in production agriculture that maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't, and our interpretation of them, and show you the pullets. So just great to have you here. It's April 1st, 2024, but even though it's April Fool's Day, no fooling, we are raising homegrown, top quality poultry here, and one of our favorite things to do is show you how we take Cornish cross meat chickens from hatch to harvest and end up with a wholesome and delicious product for human food consumption. And you know, this is just the way we do it. Doesn't mean it's the way everybody has to do it, but what we love about sharing it is that depending on your resources and your setup, you can take a lot of the things that we show you and a lot of the things that we explain and scale them to any size group of meat birds. And you can take a lot of things that we do, even if you want to raise yours, say, in a chicken tractor situation instead of a barn setup like we do. You can still take a lot of the concepts that we share and apply them in a way that works at your setup. We've been raising Cornish cross meat chickens for poultry for 4 years, and we market it directly, word of mouth, to patrons in our local area. And what we have found is that most of the time, before we even move chicks in, we have that flock sold out on reservations for specific cuts and requests from our patrons. So you know, it really is a thing that there's a need for. It really is a thing that people appreciate having access to. Real good chicken, really any kind of really good homegrown type farm raised meats. We've always raised beef and pork. My husband's family, that's something that they've always done. And we had never really consumed chicken much because we were used to beef and pork. And also, we just weren't satisfied with the chicken that we could get. So then in 2020, my husband said, well, let's try raising chickens and see what we think. And we liked it so much that we wanted to continue raising them, get good at it, expand it, and be able to market that to other people so that they could experience real good chicken as well. So, you know, thank goodness for off-farm jobs. Even like my husband's family, you know, they have work and they have jobs, and my husband has work off the farm. But, you know, the premise is, as stewards of the farm enterprise, we need to make this operation bring in more money than it has to pay out. And so you have to do that through top quality products and through communication and marketing. But this part of it, when you're in production agriculture, you know, this part of it, raising the livestock, that is the important part. You got to build the quality into the process to get the quality product at the end, and that's what's really important. So no further ado, let's take a look at the flock. But we do hope you'll subscribe to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. We'll hope you'll join us back here in the Meat Bird Barn and at our happy little homestead. We share about the birds, we share about some of our little projects around here, and we just, you know, we just want y'all to know that it's our pleasure to share what we do raising these chickens, and we're happy to answer any questions, happy to help from our experiences. So we're going to show you the flock and show you the birds that we've had to pull out and show you these pullets. So thanks for being here. Please subscribe, as I said, and please, we hope you'll love the video with a like and give it a thumbs up. And if you would gonna give it a thumbs down, I guess you probably wouldn't even watch it. You'd probably scroll on to the next thing, so that's probably irrelevant. But leave comments too, because we love your feedback and we try to get a reply out to each one. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. So glad y'all are here. Hope you had a happy Easter. It was at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit in rural Southeast Ohio, USA on Easter 2024. In fact, we had our first campfire in the fire pit at a little sitting area that we have here at home. So we're looking at the Cornish rock cross meat chickens. I'm scanning the birds that are showing up in the screen, and everything you're seeing is very normal. These are normal postures at rest of these birds, and they'll stretch and they'll preen, and sometimes they're dust bathing, and that one is really enjoying dust bathing. And they'll get up and stretch and kind of flap their wings. Sometimes they posture at each other. These are 22 days old. They were hatched, they moved in here March 11th, 2024, I should say. I think they were hatched March 10th, but they moved in here March 11th. They will go to the processor April 16th. And then just a few days after, I think April 20th maybe, we have another group similar size moving in, and they'll be in production until the end of June. No, sorry, just need to correct myself. They'll be in production until the end of May, and then they'll go to processing right before the 1st of June. And then we take about a 15-day break, and then that's when it's really going to get exciting. And we're going to keep doing videos, try to share it with y'all. That's when it's going to get exciting, though, because we are going to have, I think we have planned and scheduled 3 flocks of 425 each, back to back. So what we're doing now is we started the year with 2 flocks of 125 back to back. And so what we wanted to do was split the barn into 2 pens and use 1 pen for this first flock of 2024, because like I said, about 125, okay? And then we intended or talked about, when this was all in the planning stage, having this side empty so that we'd raise this 125 for 37 days, and then when they leave, that floor can sit with nothing on it, and we can turn that bedding over like every 3 or 4 days, say, and have that bedding more or less neutralized and dried out, and be able to reuse it again middle of June when birds go back on it, okay? And then with this having sat, as was planned, empty, well, more or less empty, because we have a few birds on it, but with this having sat, it'll be ready for the group that comes in right after that one. It'll be ready for us to put bedding down and raise a group of birds on it. And so then the thought looking out ahead being, okay, we're raising a group of 125 here. When we move in 425, if we can split the 425 into 2 groups and put half of them here, so I'm gonna back this out, half of them here and half of them here, we'll have all the 425 in this same building, but split down into 2 groups. So we know that whatever we do here with 125, we have to use this as a reference point and then scale everything for double the amount of birds anyway. So like thinking about the waters and the feeders and the lights and the bedding and the stocking density and even the lighting intensity, where the doors are placed and how that's going to affect the birds that are in there. So we're basically using this again as kind of a reference point or trial for, okay, well, when we want 210 birds in here instead of 125, okay, what adjustments need to happen from this experience, okay? So because that'll be the case mid-June. We'll have 200 birds over there and 200 some birds over here. So as it stands right now, what we're looking at is, in this side of the building, 119 birds, 22 days old, okay? And we'll raise them to 37 days old. Now, total flock population, I'm going to try to zoom in back. So one thing there we're seeing, those birds are telling us we can lift that feeder up. We need to put some more wood riser underneath it. And what's telling us that is the two birds laying down, we want them standing up, okay? And so I've got a similar situation with a couple other feeders in there. We need to get them standing up when they're eating and drinking. And then I thought this was cute, and they've got it hidden now. These two are playing with a dry leaf that blew in there. The one facing us is definitely a rooster. And you know, we get them straight run, so we don't worry about ordering just males or just females. It will cause a little bit of variety in their size as they grow and at the end of production, because the roosters typically get bigger faster than the hens. But that's okay, because some of our patrons want a bigger bird and some of our patrons want a smaller bird. So it just works out. It just works out. But they have a dry leaf and they were playing with it. So it's always nice to see meat chickens get to do regular chicken things. So this 119, we're keeping an eye on them, okay? But they're doing good. We started out with 126. We did lose 3. That took us down to 123. And we still actually have 123, but 4 of them are over here. And so this is something I would say that if you're raising meat birds, wherever you want to raise them, however you want to raise them, whatever, but have kind of a plan B or a backup plan in mind. Every time we raise a flock of Cornish rock cross meat chickens, we always come across individuals that need to be removed from the flock at large and put in a different space because they simply need specialized care or they need some kind of intervention. So I'm going to go back over here again and kind of do a zoom in on this group of birds here. Okay, and remember, these are all, the skin is normal postures, but want to let you kind of get a sense maybe of how, you know, they're putting some meat on in the chicken breast and in the chicken thighs. You know, we're seeing these birds really develop, okay? And they're going to develop a lot more. But wanted to give you a sense there looking of some size,